Have you ever noticed that the smartest person in your friend group is often the one who's broke? Not because they're bad with money, because they're too good at something else thinking. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand the exact mental trap that keeps intelligent, capable people stuck in the same financial spot for years, while people who aren't as smart quietly build wealth around them. Psychologists have a name for this. They call it analysis paralysis, but I like to think of it differently. Picture your mind as a car with a massive engine, but no steering wheel. All that horsepower, and it just spins in place, burning fuel and going nowhere. Smart people are brilliant at seeing every possible outcome, every risk, every way a plan could fail. Their brain runs 1,000 simulations before they take a single step. Sounds like an advantage, right? Here's the twist. Research on decision-making shows that too many options doesn't lead to better choices. It leads to freezing. Psychologists call this the paradox of choice. The more your brain has to weigh, the more exhausted it gets, until it just stops choosing altogether. So while someone less analytical invests in a small business or buys their first index fund without overthinking it, the smart person is still building a spreadsheet comparing 17 scenarios, 3 tax strategies, and a worst-case projection nobody asked for. By the time they're ready to act, the moment's gone. But that's only the first trap. There's a second one, and it's sneakier. It's called intelligence trap thinking. This is when someone becomes so confident in their own reasoning that they start trusting their internal logic over actual evidence in front of them. Picture your mind as a garden. Most people plant a few seeds and see what grows. Smart people, though, want to calculate the exact soil pH, sunlight hours, and rainfall probability before planting anything. They're not wrong to be careful. But while they're calculating, the season ends, and the ground stays empty. Here's the surprising part. Studies on financial behavior have found that IQ has almost no correlation with wealth accumulation. What actually predicts financial success is something else entirely: emotional regulation. The ability to act despite uncertainty, and to sit still despite fear. In other words, it's not about how smart you are. It's about how well you tolerate the discomfort of not knowing. There's a reason this trap catches smart people specifically, and not everyone equally. Growing up, intelligent people are usually praised for having the right answer, good grades, correct predictions, being the one who gets it faster than everyone else. So somewhere along the way, being wrong starts to feel dangerous, almost identity-threatening, instead of just a normal part of learning, which means, as adults, they unconsciously avoid situations where they might be wrong. And investing, starting a business, negotiating pay, these are all situations where you cannot know the outcome in advance. There's no way to guarantee the right answer. So the smart brain, trained for years to avoid being wrong, simply avoids playing the game altogether. Let's talk about why this happens on a deeper level, because it's not a character flaw. It's wiring. Your brain has one job above all else: keep you safe. Not happy, not rich, safe. When you're highly intelligent, your brain has more tools to imagine danger, more scenarios, more what-ifs. So your internal alarm system gets louder, not quieter. Think of it like weather. An anxious brain doesn't just see clouds, it sees every possible storm that could ever form from those clouds. And smart brains are exceptionally good at imagining storms that haven't even started forming yet. This is why so many intelligent people stay in jobs they've outgrown, why they hesitate to ask for raises they've clearly earned, why they keep researching investing for 3 years instead of starting with $50 and learning as they go. Their intelligence isn't the problem. Their intelligence protecting them from imagined danger, that's the problem. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. There's a concept called cognitive load, and it explains why smart people often make worse financial decisions under stress, not better ones. Imagine your brain as a phone with 50 tabs open. Even if each tab is small, all of them running together slows the whole system down. Smart people tend to keep more tabs open. More worries, more contingency plans, more just-in-case thoughts running quietly in the background, draining battery you didn't even know you were losing. So when a real financial decision comes along, negotiating a salary, deciding whether to invest, choosing whether to finally leave a job that underpays them, their processing power is already half used up. They make the decision tired, distracted, and anxious, even if they don't consciously realize it. This is why some of the most brilliant people you know still feel confused about money. It's not a lack of knowledge. It's mental bandwidth being quietly eaten alive by overthinking everything else in their life at the same time. Let's bring this down to earth with something you've probably experienced yourself. Have you ever spent hours researching the best way to save money? Read every article, watched every video, compared every app, and then done absolutely nothing? That's not laziness. That's your brain mistaking research for progress. Psychologists call this the illusion of productivity. Learning about a goal releases a small hit of dopamine, the same chemical involved in reward and motivation. Your brain feels like it accomplished something, even though nothing in your actual life has changed. So, the smarter you are, and the more information you can absorb, the easier it becomes to trick yourself into feeling productive while staying perfectly comfortably still. Meanwhile, someone with less information but more willingness to act just starts. And starting, even imperfectly, beats perfect planning almost every single time. There's actually a term for the opposite of this trap too. It's called satisficing. Instead of searching for the perfect decision, you look for the first option that's good enough, and you move. It sounds almost too simple to work, but behavioral studies consistently find that people who satisfice report higher life satisfaction than people who search endlessly for the optimal choice. The perfectionists end up more anxious, not more successful, even when their final decisions are objectively similar. So what do you actually do with all of this? Here's the shift that matters. Stop asking what's the smartest decision, and start asking what's the smallest decision I can make today. Small actions bypass the overthinking trap because they don't feel threatening to your brain. Your nervous system doesn't sound the alarm over $5. It sounds the alarm over life-changing decisions. So don't give it life-changing decisions to wrestle with. Give it tiny, boring, low-stakes steps instead. Open the account. Set the automatic transfer. Buy the smallest amount of the investment you're considering. Not because it's the mathematically optimal move, but because it interrupts the freeze before it takes hold. Another shift: separate learning time from deciding time. If you're always researching, you're never actually deciding. Give yourself a deadline. Not because you'll magically know everything by then, but because a deadline forces your brain to trust a decision instead of endlessly optimizing it into oblivion. A third shift, and maybe the most important one: start treating money decisions like reversible experiments instead of permanent verdicts. Most financial choices aren't as final as they feel in the moment. You can change banks. You can sell an investment. You can adjust a budget next month. When your brain believes a decision is permanent, it panics. When it understands the decision is adjustable, it relaxes enough to actually move. And finally, notice the difference between calculating out of caution and calculating out of fear. Caution asks, what's a reasonable next step here? Fear asks, what could go catastrophically, irreversibly wrong? One of those moves you forward. The other keeps you circling the exact same spot for years, feeling busy while going nowhere. So let's bring it all together. Being smart doesn't protect you from financial stagnation. Sometimes it quietly causes it. Your mind isn't broken, it's overprotective, running simulations meant to keep you safe, not rich. The paradox of choice keeps you frozen in too many options. The intelligence trap convinces you that more analysis always equals more safety. And the illusion of productivity tricks you into mistaking research for real progress. None of this makes you weak, and it definitely doesn't make you incapable. It makes you human, with a brain doing exactly what it evolved to do millions of years ago, just operating in a modern world that now rewards action more than endless analysis. So here's something worth sitting with tonight. Maybe the goal was never to think less. Maybe it's to trust yourself enough to act while you're still thinking. If this helped you understand yourself a little better, consider subscribing to MomentumPsyche. There's a lot more of your own mind left to explore, one video at a time.